Can everyone hear me? Can you guys hear me okay? I'm doing this from my phone for the first time, so it's a little bit different. So, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Let me just say a quick hello to everyone. Scotty, Jimbo, Crimes Have Consequences, Little G, Kemper, hello, welcome. Jane, Amy, Beth, hey Lily, Dutchy, Carrie, Queen Ashley, hello, Sarah, Tisha, Fizzle, Jaded, Sheila, welcome. It's been a while since I've done this. I'm kind of rusty. Penguin Moon, hello. Good to see everyone. I hope everyone's having a wonderful afternoon. It's beautiful weather here, about 70 degrees. Very different for where I live, but I'll take it. I'm not going to keep everyone long today. Time kind of got away from me and real life took over. So what was going to be one big stream is now going to be the mini series that Ernest Maxwell has always dreamed of. We're going to make his dreams come true before he goes to the clink. So just my chats are always usually pretty laid back. My mods know what to do. It's kind of a 3 strikes and you're out rule here. Trolls, you're more than welcome to stay too. If you're lurking in the bushes, don't be afraid. Anything kind of goes here. As long as you're being respectful to everyone in the chat and respectful to me, we won't have problems. I know that emotions are heightened right now. Everyone's on edge because there has been some shady crap going on. Like real life shady crap that can get people really hurt. And that's just not cool. So, I don't really understand the whole Cash App rule thing again, but if you guys want to give me all your money, it's $ and my name. I'll take it. Chump change, times are tough. I've got kids to raise, and mama needs a new pair of shoes. So, the title is Lightning Tiger the Movie, Part 1, Setting the Scene. We're going to talk about how Ernie even came to YouTube, how I first came to know him. I know that a lot of people knew him from Facebook. I haven't really been active on Facebook for quite some time, so I missed a lot of those shenanigans. But luckily, the internet is forever, and I have been able to catch up on some stuff. We all have seen the article, and for those who have not, I will post it on my community page. But there was an article that Ernie wrote, really hyping himself up to be this great big predator hunter. He's out for the greater good and saving all these babies and children and mamas. Well, honestly, Ernie can't even save himself. That's the point we're at. Um, First and foremost, I'm not a monster, so whatever ailments or illness or whatever had him laid up in the bed with tubes coming out of every orifice of his body, I do have sympathy for that, whatever it may be. Do I think he was attacked by a band of ninjas or 4 horsemen? No, I do not. If he was beat up by anybody, it was by his own doing because he mouthed off to the wrong person or he acted sketchy and strange around the wrong group of people. It is my opinion, and I will state it publicly, that I do not believe for 1 second that anyone related to YouTube paid any money to have him attacked. He's just not that important. Not to any of us. The most I can say about him is he is going down in infamy because of the chaos he has created, the real life situations he has created. When you look at everything going on in the community, well, when I look at it anyway, and trust me, I have put pen to paper and traced everything back, and we'll go over all of that stuff on part 2. Ern is in the center of it. It all of this revolves around stuff that he has started. This community of people who has now broken apart. How did they all come together? Ernie Shell. We all came together to watch him and to see what he was all about. And then unfortunately, little subgroups broke off, and now we're in the predicament that we're in. Um, we're not going to do any of that fighting crap over here, though, because I'm not a part of that. I haven't been involved in attacking anyone or doxing anyone or talking crap about anyone. And no one so far has done anything to me. I'd like to keep it that way. Everyone is welcome here. If you feel like you can't speak up in this chat, please do not feel that way at all. I don't care who whose chats you go in. I don't care what creators you watch. As long as you're not talking smack about me, we're good. As long as you're not doing anything to hurt the people that I care about, we're good. Everyone is welcome to have an opinion here. I welcome people to challenge me and ask questions. That's how you have an adult conversation, right? When you're having a conversation and you want someone to see your point of view, the best way to get someone to do that is to approach them with kindness and an open mind and just be adults. We're all grown-ups. So Ernie Shell came on the scene. Really, the first thing I ever watched with him was the interview he did with Benny. It was at the beginning of Summer's case, and there was this group of people that were going out to the racetrack to search for this little girl. And Benny did an interview with him, and I'll never forget that lady's voice in the background. Oh my gosh, are you the predator hunter? Oh, I just love you. Really? That's how you're going to break onto the scene, is some conveniently placed super fan singing your praises while you're on a live stream. I mean, I believe in coincidences, but that is just taking it a tad too far. So that was the first flashing red light for me that made me kind of side eye this guy. Not to mention the bracelets all the way up his arm and his alligator teeth hat and just this whole character he had created for himself. And that article he wrote, one line that stood out to me was this: I hope to one day have a TV show or a movie. That's all it's about for him, is fame and fortune. And if people haven't figured that out by now, then I'll draw you a picture. How about I draw you a map and number everything for you? Because that would be better than drawing a map of someone's house, right? At least what I do wouldn't put anyone in danger. So this isn't about saving the children or hunting down predators. Because when you fast forward to a year, he's not out here researching um, not so nice people, people that harm children, things like that. He's out here researching each and every one of you that are in these chats that go against what he's talking about. So I encourage all of you right now, if you don't have a VPN on, do that. Protect yourselves online, not just from Ernie, but out of Ernie's own mouth in one of his first general awareness classes. He said there are over 40,000 active predators online each and every day. So just think of it as a win-win. You're not only protecting yourself from him and his avid followers, you're protecting yourself and your families from all of the other creeps that are online. When you have someone who says that they are, this all American guy and in it to win it, no mercy, we're going to take these predators down. When you look at the other side and he's putting out women's addresses, because, right, he always attacks the women harder than he does the men. He's putting out people's personal information, not only for the purpose of humiliating them for things that they've done in their past, but he gets some sick satisfaction out of it. Like it's a power trip from him. People that do things like that feel like because they have this super secret information about someone, it makes them powerful. They hold the key. It's a manipulation. One of Ernie's favorite words, tactic. You can manipulate someone into doing what you want them to do and not stepping out of line, because if they do, then they risk a person putting out their information. None of us are innocent angels. We have all done at least one thing in our life that we're not proud of, that we would like to leave in the past where it belongs. You don't wake up every morning and walk backwards, you walk forward. It's pretty hard to walk forward when you have someone throwing crap in your face and wanting to drag you backwards. Sometimes the things in people's past are just traumas, heartaches, things that weren't of their own making. There's always a full story to everything. It's not just what a piece of paper says. It's not just what you find on a website. That doesn't paint the whole picture. You wouldn't just, I don't know, it's hard to explain. I'll come up with some kind of little explanation, a little scenario. But if you just go by what people say, we can get on here and say anything we want about anyone. 9 times out of 10, people are going to take that and run with it and not ever look into it and get any true facts for themselves. My brain does not operate like that. So I have put a lot of time and effort into really gathering facts and double checking my facts and really getting to the root of everything. And I think what we're left with is this man who, yes, he's had trauma in his life. He has had bad things happen to him. He has a brother incarcerated for taking someone's life. But a lot of things that has happened to him, he's the cause of. It's his behaviors and his actions towards others that bring on these certain things that happen. This little lightning tiger claims that people have taken everything from him. They've taken everything from all his clothes and shoes, his 50 laptops and 75 phones, to his freedom, to his reputation, his credentials. No, your actions are a direct cause of you losing everything you once had. You have ruined your reputation, Tony the Tiger. You have made people question you and doubt you. I have seen a lot of your hardcore followers walk away from you. And I know a lot of them, they probably felt like it was a big risk. So Ernie comes onto the scene and he's this great guy. Then he does his interview. Ernie's thinking he did great. Well, the very next day, it came out that he just wasn't all of that. He wasn't all of those things that he claimed to be. He may have it in his heart that he wants to do, My opinion of Ernie Shell is it's kind of like a child when, every Halloween they want to be something amazing. They want to be a superhero or a policeman or a fireman, something that just makes you feel on top of the world and important. You can do all of those things in real life, but you got to get your crap together first. Unfortunately, now that there is a felony involved, that shit may have sailed. It's not our fault. We didn't steal a van. You did. You were hired to do a job and you didn't keep up your end of the bargain. And now you have to face the consequences. So, even after that first initial interview, we saw all the fake evidence that came from the racetrack. The reason I know almost beyond a shadow of a doubt is that it was absolutely fake evidence is because I'm no dummy. I have spent more than enough time learning about evidence collection and taking fingerprints, mixing chemical compounds to find blood stains. I know all of that. I also know that you don't pick up a zip tie that you find with your bare hands and put it in a Ziploc bag. You're at a racetrack, for crying out loud, where children and families go. There's going to be hair bows and baby dolls and Tonka trucks and all kinds of crap laying around. None of that had anything to do with Summer. But that was his in. He used that child's case to make a name for himself. And I think that's when a lot of people were turned off by him. I mean, a lot of people in this community have come to love Summer Wells. I don't cover children's cases, but it doesn't mean I don't have a heart for him. I have followed her case since day one. And for me, that seemed like a sick opportunity for someone to try to piggyback off that and be the hero. It made a lot of people mad. It started the resistance. Here we had, and I'm not going to say anything bad about Tina and Xander. I don't know them. I haven't had really any interaction with them at all. Um, I do think that Tina's train of thinking and some of her theories and stuff is a little off the wall, but that's just because I don't think that way. I am a very fact based thinker. I have to know who, why, what, when, where, and how. Um, I was always the kid that wanted to know how things worked, why things happened, things like that. I've been a silent observer. I've clipped the crap out of Ernie's videos in the beginning because I was blocked in his chat. I clipped things I had questions about, things that didn't make sense to me. But I don't dare ask a question because you're going to get blocked or you're going to get doxxed or cussed out or, it's just awful. That is not the way a professional works. This man claims to have done protection for celebrities and all these important people, but he conducts himself like a 5-year-old on the playground. He has no moral compass. He has no respect for human beings in general. It's his way or no way. You either think like him or, who knows what's going to happen to you. I've seen him do more harm than good in the year that I've even known he was on this planet. Hang on. Oh, yeah, lips. I remember. I'll try to go back and read some comments. But right now, I just want to get through as much as we can today. So after the racetrack ordeal, he starts pumping out live streams. And when one thing doesn't work out, he moves on to the next. When that doesn't pan out, he moves on to the next. Nothing ever comes to fruition or completion. I think the only thing he has ever followed through with that I've seen is he mailed out a few t-shirts, and thank the Lord that MAGA was a part of it, because that just means that handful of people didn't get ripped off. We've had the memberships for the super secret group that never came to fruition, and he was asking $100 a pop for that. $100. $100. That's a lot of money to me. You know what I could do with $100? That's almost my full grocery budget for the week. And I feed 4 people. I really know how to stretch a penny. I've seen people in his chat saying that they gave their last $5 for his lawyer up fund. Or I saw one lady one time, and I think she was probably on a fixed income. She said, I don't have any more to give, but I sent $3 for his bond. That's sad to me. That in itself is just criminal from like a human standpoint. How can you sit there and make all these promises to people, put yourself on this pedestal, and make them believe all these great things about you? I don't care about your pieces of paper that all have expiration dates. Your last piece of paper that gave you any kind of credentials expired on the 31st. So guess what, buddy? You're just a common citizen now, a nobody, just like the rest of us. You don't hold any power. You're not out there hunting predators. You're out here hunting subs and viewers that were a part of this community long before you ever came along. And anyone who knows anything about me knows that my heart is always going to be with the subs and viewers. Because when I'm not up here talking, I'm a sub and a viewer. I watch everyone. It doesn't matter if I have any conversations with them. In just about every chat, whether you know I'm there or not, I'm there. It's not because I'm hate watching or stalking anyone. It's because, like I said, when I want to know something, I'm going to find it out for myself. I'm not just going to take someone's word. Ernie lives by, I'm just going to say something and everybody has to take my word for it. No. It's time to pull ourselves out of this trap that he's gotten so many people in. Along with the super secret membership and all these other things, hockey mask. Let's not forget he was scamming people for hockey masks long before he ever became the all-American predator hunter. He's a world-renowned artist too. I bet some people didn't even know that. The man's an artist. He's a ninja bodyguard. He's just so many different things. But yet he got his butt kicked. Supposedly. We're not even going to say allegedly, because allegedly it drives me nuts when I hear people use that word out of context every single day. Allegedly is when you have someone that's been charged with something and they haven't been found guilty or innocent yet. It's usually crime related. Supposedly is the word everyone should be using. Yes, John Cena, he scammed a bunch of wrestlers. Got everyone all hyped up to do this big show, then didn't have any money to pay. Didn't have a dime. Was charged with the crime. But according to him, he has no criminal record, no criminal history. Then he's got this big LLC, I don't even know, organization. He opened up a website for it. And do you know what he did? The man didn't even go in and fill out like what his mission statement and stuff was. When you go to the website, it literally said, insert your text here or something like that. He charged money for that and didn't even have the cojones to finish filling out the website and making it look professional, because he half-assed does everything. He does just enough to get people's attention and make a few dollars, and then that's it. He just waits till people forget and moves on to the next thing. Everything has been about money. If you want to donate, donate. If you don't. He didn't have enough oxygen to answer people numerous times when they kept asking, what happened to you? What happened to you? But he had enough oxygen at the end of those hospital live streams to say, if you want to donate, donate. If you don't. I'm sure he made bank during those handful of live streams he did from his hospital bed. I wish him well. I hope he has a speedy recovery. There's no doubt in my mind that there is something off mentally. I mean, we know that because the last incident resulted in him being hospitalized, and he came online and told everyone that he was diagnosed with some few things and he was going to be on medication and things like that. I'm not putting him down for his mental illness. A lot of us suffer from mental illness. I suffer from anxiety. I have horrible anxiety. I do not like public speaking at all. Um, I'm an introvert, and a lot of us are that way. We all have our little fears and phobias and issues that we're working through. And some people, I don't want to say that people don't have friends. I mean, my circle in my real life is very small. That is because I have lost people in my life, for various reasons. Some people are no longer living. Most of my family is gone. Um, it's just, I'm 47 years old. I'm not out there in the social scene bar hopping and doing all of this stuff. I'm a mom full time. I'm a student full time. I'm not ashamed to say that I clean houses to make some extra money. I do what I have to do in my real life. It's nice to be able to come online and be in a chat and socialize with people and have discussions, but it's become a dangerous place lately. And it was never like this when I started my channel. Yes, there was the drama community where there was a lot of doxing and stuff like that going on. I think what happened here is once Ernie came on the scene, it kind of merged some communities together. It merged the true crime community because, and this is how it happened. Um, Benny Keys has been true crime. He he's I don't care what anyone says, he's good at it. He is good at speaking, he is good at, sometimes he gets words wrong and things like that, but that's okay. I accept that about him. No sweat off my back. So you had a group of people that followed him, who were subs of his, who were moderators for him, Rat being one of them. Well, then some other people joined the community, and then Rat broke off, and started doing his own thing. And it's not really true crime. It wasn't really drama. It was just like this new genre that kind of came. And so it's now created like this huge circle of people. And there was a falling out, and then that circle split again. It happened because of Ernie. Ernie started a lot of trouble because maybe he wasn't feeling accepted. Maybe he wasn't feeling like he fit in. He always has to be top dog. I mean, he is definitely a one-upper. If you tell him you ate a whole chocolate cake, he's going to tell you he ate 5 and didn't even puke. He needs that constant reassurance and praise and all eyes on him at all times. That's just who he is. And he's like a whiny little toddler. If he can't get positive reassurance, then negative attention is okay with him. He doesn't care who he hurts. We aren't people to him. None of us, even those that are closest to him, that do his dirty work, because he's very calculated in the way he does things. This is the kind of person we're dealing with. He knows when and when not to get his hands dirty. So he creates enough chaos with other people and gets them all riled up that they go out and do the dirty work for him. But he's been slipping lately, and he's been doing it more and more himself. I don't know much about this person. It's my understanding that he has a lady in his circle who is a legit skip tracer. That's her profession. Um, I can tell you that if she is the one getting all of this information on people for him and supplying him with it to be used with malicious intent for nefarious reasons, then she is very unethical in her profession. That goes beyond the scope of what she is doing. She is abusing her privileges, and I just think that's wrong. I'm a real stickler for following oaths and ethics and just being a moral human being in general. So, about uh, over the summer, I guess, is when he's had the van incident. And it's always been this story that it was set up. Everybody set me up. YouTube set me up. Benny set me up. Rap set me up. They did it. They did it. They did it. He has never taken accountability for anything he's done. It's always somebody else's fault. Always. Never Ernie's. It was everyone else's. Who was driving the van? Ernie. Who left the van on the side of the road and decided to do a live stream showing the utter mess inside that van? The column all ripped up because he was looking for explosives and just all kinds of insanity. Ernie's responsible for that. If he wasn't responsible, then they had no reason to arrest him. It wasn't because a bunch of people called Bolt Express. Maybe that alerted them to the situation, but he was not in his right mind when all of that was going on. And unfortunately, those people closest to him at the time were, helping to fuel that fire. They were telling him, don't go near the van. Stay away from it. Don't touch anything. That man should never be traveling alone anywhere if he is not on medication. He just shouldn't. My theory with him being hospitalized, there's a couple of different possibilities. I think it's quite possible he was hit by a car. That would cause damage to the kidney area, the stomach, things like that. Because he got the crap kicked out of him, there would have been a lot more damage to his face. Because if you want to put someone on their butt, you hit them square in the nose, hit them in the back of the head. Any headshot can lay someone out. I also mulled over the possibility that about a week or so before this happened, he wasn't camming up. And when he did, he had a mask on. He said the right side of his face was swollen or whatever. I had a friend a few years ago that had an abscess tooth that went untreated. It turned into bacterial meningitis. And he almost lost his life. He had to have surgery on his brain. Um, so that's also another possibility, that he didn't want to take the mask off or wouldn't cam up. Yes, lips. He showed his face in the hospital, but there was a few live streams he did before that where he wouldn't. He always had his mask on, and he said something was wrong with his face. I don't know. I don't think that any of us will ever know what truly happened to him. But I don't think that I know for a fact that Jimbo didn't pay anybody to beat him up with all these thousands and thousands of dollars he's making. He has a very good way of making things not about him and always makes it about someone else, where he is always the victim. It's always, look what they've done to me. They've just been doing all of this stuff to me. And he's got people roped in. He is a smooth talker. He has so much potential. He is a people person. He can, I mean, I don't know. I have never seen anyone spin stories the way he can. He'd make an excellent salesman. I mean, I would probably buy Tupperware from him if he came knocking on my door, to be honest. If I didn't know all the things that I know now. And he has wasted it all. He has thrown his life away. He has created this persona that he can't follow through with. He's all over the place. So he wants a TV show. We're going to give him a TV show. This first part is just a little refresher, getting to know the man behind the hockey mask. And for part 2, I'll be on my computer, so hopefully I can show some of these things in case people didn't get to see it. Because not everyone has known Ernie as long as most of us have. So I've seen people who pop in his chat saying, oh, this is my first time here. And I want to scream from the rooftops, run, zip up your purses, hide your wallets, and run. Because by the time he's through with you, you're going to be broke. Everyone's going to know where you live. Your whole life is going to be in danger because of this man. Who remembers when he wanted his moderators to show a couple of forms of ID before they could be a moderator on his channel? That that made my blood boil, because I saw these vulnerable people who just wanted to be a part of something good. Who wouldn't want to be in the inner circle of this great predator hunting group, right? We all want the best for all the children, not just our own, but for all the children, these next generations that are one day going to possibly run our country, or, hold positions of power and open businesses. And, yes, everyone wants to be a part of something good. And yes, Jane, it is absolutely against terms of service to require personal identification or personal information. I posted it on my community page back when that was happening. And when I post things like that, you guys, it's not just to discredit him. I post stuff like that because if other people aren't going to check facts or find information or find answers, I'll do the work for you. And I'm going to find those answers. And I wanted people to see, please don't do this. Please don't give this man your information. He just made a community post. I mean, he made like 6 or 7 community posts yesterday. And one of them was about this new way that him and his team are going to use people's information. Well, first off, you shouldn't even be out here gathering people's information, buddy. It's none of your business. People choose the name they want to go by on YouTube because nobody is safe on the internet. Everyone has enough common sense to know that when you go on any social media platform and put yourself out there, that you're at risk for numerous things. There again, I stress having a good VPN. If anyone needs a good free VPN, get Proton VPN. It's encrypted. It comes with an email address. Just please, please, please keep yourself safe. Providing him or anyone else no creator should ever require IDs to be a moderator on their channel. And I don't care how much you adore that creator, how much you support them and hang on to every word they say. If they start asking you for your personal information, and it's not always that they come right out and ask, there's ways they go about getting it. They will do things like have t-shirts for sale that you'll never get, or other things where you think that you're just given a name and a mailing address to get your crap when it's ready, but you may get something a lot worse. It doesn't take much to find out information about people because there is a plethora of websites out there, for the general public to be able to look up people's backgrounds. And you unknowingly overshare. You'll think that you're just having a casual conversation in a chat and you're like, oh yeah, I live here, I live there, you're my neighbor. You never know who's watching. You see those dang tiger eyes 1 through 100 out there. You know they're watching. So don't feed them the information that they need. There have been so many people hurt in this community, either directly by him or by some of his supporters and the things that they do, but also as a result of, situations that branch off from things he's done. There again, if you circle the drain, Ernie's right in the middle. And he loves it. He is eating this stuff up. He loves that everybody's at each other's throats now. He said it yesterday. I mean, he's like, well, if so and so's not going to do the dirty work, I will. And he did. What he did yesterday is what prompted me to really get all my notes organized and lay this out one step at a time. What he did to Smoky Mountain Mama yesterday, it's unfathomable and unforgivable. I don't care what your opinion is of why her husband is no longer with us. He sits there and makes all these snide comments like it's her fault. None of us know that. None of us know what prompted him to make that decision. And it's unfortunate. And what people don't realize when they do this stuff, attacking the adults, the creators, the subs, and the viewers, it's not just attacking them. It doesn't just affect them. It doesn't matter if we have our channels set for kid appropriate or not. It does not matter. I could have mine set, which right now I think it is set for not appropriate for people under 18. That doesn't really matter though, because there's going to be the next person and the next person and the next person that shares and clips and re-uploads. Once it's out here, it can go in many different directions. And if you think that young children cannot find stuff on the internet, I'm going to tell you something. Back when I first started my channel, I went head to head with someone and I said some not so nice things about this person, and they said some not so nice things about me. And do you know that my 8-year-old daughter came in the kitchen one night and asked me why I don't like Benny Keys? You know how she found that? It's like a chain result, a chain reaction. My older kids know about my channel. My little one knows I have a channel, but she's not allowed to watch it. But it's because of my kids that I conduct myself the way I do on here. I'm not perfect. I fall short all the time. But these kids, anyone of any age who has access to an electronic device and Wi-Fi, internet capability, all of that, drop for a second. Are you guys there? Okay. Um, what that did to his child, I believe a friend of hers saw it online and then showed her. I'm not sure if that's exactly how it went down, but I do know that his daughter saw that video and she was in tears. That was one of the most disgusting displays I have ever seen. Our children did not sign up for this. Our children should not be affected by adult situations that happen online because adults don't know how to handle themselves. I don't come on here and put anyone's children at risk. I don't talk about anyone's children. I don't put videos of anyone's children like was done yesterday. And let's not forget that he didn't just, yeah, his excuse is, well, it's a public Facebook video. I don't give a crap. That video not only had Smoky Mountain Mama's children in it, it had other children in that school who were exploited by you, Mr. Predator Hunter. Those other parents didn't give consent either for you to plaster this on the internet. I don't care if it was on a public Facebook page. You still do not have the right to go to someone's Facebook page and grab something like that and use it for what, Ernie Shell? What is that you're always squawking about? That you say everyone's going to go down for? That you have all this documentation, a fickle documentation, malicious intent. That's why you posted that video yesterday, was for malicious intent. Smoky Mountain Mama hadn't done a damn thing to you. You need to just take her out of the equation. You did that because you don't like rap, because you have had your pecker at attention for over a year now to try to take him down. It wasn't right. This is the amazing predator hunter that we're dealing with. This is the guy that is to be arraigned tomorrow in Madison County, Kentucky at 11 a.m. I think it's 11. This is a guy who is under felony indictment for felony theft and destruction of property, and who will probably have some other charges tacked on too. People have been wondering what's going on with his court date tomorrow. And I'm going to have to wrap this up in about 15 minutes and go pick up my mini me. A couple of different things can happen tomorrow. One, he can somehow miraculously show up for court. And if he's smart, he'll take a deal, plead guilty, and take his lumps like a big boy. But if he operates in typical Earn fashion, he will plead not guilty and he will go to trial. He does not have to be there tomorrow if the courts are aware of his medical situation and he just cannot travel. Then his public defender can show up on his behalf. But as of right now, I just checked before I started, the docket has not changed. It's not like calling in sick to work where you're just like, hey, I'm not going to be there and it's fine. No, someone needs to be there, either the defendant or someone on behalf of the defendant, to ask for a continuance. That's just how the court system works. At least that's how it works here. And Ernie always likes to crack jokes about my name. I think the last one he said is, well, she's got to know something about justice before she can be chasing justice. Ernie, I have taken so many classes and read so many books and taken so many tests. I know all about justice. I know how the law works. And you're breaking it left and right. For anyone to put any military family on blast like that, you're disrespecting someone who served so that you can have the freedoms you have. What happened in Smoky Mountain Mama's family is unfortunate. That's her trauma. That's her children's trauma. Everyone's pointing the finger and saying it's all her fault. Unless you were there, unless you were inside his head, you don't know that. So cut it out. That is horrible. Not only were you disrespecting just a person in general, you were disrespecting a vet. Someone who put their life on the line for you. For you to get online and talk crap about people. Ernie Shell, you claim to be a good old country boy, loves America, loves God, loves fellow man. Nothing about your behaviors has shown that to me. You should be ashamed. And then you're such a chicken shit that you didn't even leave the video up. I'm glad you didn't. I'm very glad you didn't leave the video up. But you don't leave any of them up, do you? You think you can just sweep away your messes and no one will ever know. It's like when the kid's trying to get the cereal off the top shelf and a bag of flour falls down too and there's flour all over the floor. and they try to sweep it up real quick, just shove it under the stove. But then they forget about those little dusty footprints that lead from the scene of the crime. I remember early on when Predator Hunter Nation was still one complete entity. They used to talk a lot about, it's crossing interstate lines. These people talking about us and saying they don't like us or breaking all these laws. Federal, we're going to get the FBI on them, special forces, all kinds of craziness. Well, guess what you're doing? You're threatening people with physical harm on more than one occasion. Just yesterday, you said you were going to knock a woman's head off with a baseball bat. You deleted it, though. It's okay, because I have it. Many other people have it, too. In one of his comment threads, there was another creator that was saying something about saying that Jimbo had done a murder for hire and threatening someone's life is illegal. And of course, I had a retort. Come on. I asked him, so you think it's okay for Ernie to threaten to knock someone's head off with a baseball bat? He's threatened physical harm to at least 4 people, probably more. But, he has his favorites that he likes to do. He's gone online and said that he was stalking Benny. He was hiding in the bushes, hiding in the bamboo. He deleted that too. He's got this waiver that he travels with. Anyone who doesn't like him, he's got a waiver for you to sign, and y'all can duke it out like the good old boys do. Well, I'm guessing that it wouldn't matter about the waiver because obviously, since Ernie was attacked by a band of ninjas, the fight would be over pretty quick. You can't go out here and conduct yourself with intimidation and manipulation and expect everyone to buy into your crap. I'm not buying into it. I see what you're doing. A lot of other people see it too. These children of ours, of creators, stuff gets around. So I make sure that when I come on here and I talk about things, that I do it in a way that would not humiliate my children. And I would expect someone who claims to care so much about children to do the same. That video that you posted, Ernie, in that school yesterday has made its way to the prosecutor's office. I don't imagine that's going to work out too well for you. Everyone always screams, I've heard it a lot lately, I'm just going to get a lawsuit against them. It's not that easy. And that's why this stuff continues. Because everyone knows it's not that easy. You can't just run down to the police department and press charges on someone that's 4 states over. It doesn't work like that. It takes a lot. But I encourage everyone, if your information has been doxed, if you're receiving any threatening messages or phone calls, emails, document everything. It'll take time and it'll take effort and energy, but yes, you can build a case. You can build your own case. Because people like Ernie Shell don't need to be on here doing what they're doing. Putting children at risk. Women. vulnerable women who have had traumas in their life already, single women who may not have anything at home to protect themselves. This man has claimed to have people all over. He's always saying, I've got eyes on so and so. I know what they're doing. I know what they had for lunch. People should feel threatened by someone that says stuff like that. That is a unhinged person. So, over the past year, we've seen Ernest Mack's show unravel. He's gone from the amazing killer inside to the little lightning tiger. So, in part two, we're going to talk about the van incident. We're going to go over that from beginning to end. That's going to be part two of Lightning Tiger, the movie. Because when you really look at how that all played out, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to tell you exactly what happened. I mean, there's documentation in the system that shows what happened. I don't know if Ernie Shell does drugs. I don't. I have my suspicions. I don't know exactly what mental illness he has, but I know he has one. I don't know that he's not going to come after me now. But I can tell you what, I will fight right back. And I will do everything in my power to make sure that you're not able to hurt anyone else. And I already know that that's going to be perceived as a threat. But I don't fight like that. I'm going to make sure that the justice system puts you in your place, puts you where you belong in a timeout so you can reevaluate yourself and your life choices and pull yourself together. You are far too old of a man to be out here playing dress up and trying to be something you're not. If you want to do those things in life, then get off your ass and put in the work and do it. Quit pretending. Quit suckering people in to giving you every dollar they have. Quit making promises to people that you can't keep. Quit accepting money and donations for things you're never going to do. You collected a shit ton of money because you were going to go to California and march to the front doors of YouTube and change YouTube forever. But that never happened. It never was going to happen. Instead, what you did was take everyone's money and travel God only knows where and eat at every Cracker Barrel from the West Coast to the East Coast on everyone else's dime. You're not the victim here, Ernie. You've created a lot of victims. You've created a lot of havoc in this community. Your bad attitude and your poor choices have rubbed off on numerous people. I have seen people that were with me the day I started my channel, and they have morphed into people completely unrecognizable. And it's because of the shitstorm you stirred up. So, Ernie Shell, allow me to introduce myself. My name's Chasing Justice, and I can be your worst nightmare, or I can be someone that helps you. But you're too stubborn to say, look, I can't do this by myself. How can I get myself out of this mess that I put myself in? You think you have all the answers. You think you know it all, but you don't. You couldn't even say epiphany yesterday. You can't spell official. You don't know how to collect evidence properly. The only thing you have on your side is that you're a good digital lawyer. You're a sneaky snake. You slither in, and when no one's looking, you go in for the kill. And I'm tired of seeing people hurt because you need to boost your own ego. So it's almost time for me to go pick up my kiddo, but I just want to let me say hi to some people that I missed. Jaded, Blaze, Selena, Linda Fontaine, Raz, hey buddy, Stingray, Mel, Murica, Mountain Violets, Angie Girl, Homie. I think I got everyone. If I missed anyone, I'm so sorry. Um, I just wanted to get everything in. If anyone needs to get in touch with me, if you have any questions or anything like that, you can always email me at chasingjustice22@protonmail.com. I check it about every other day. So if I don't get back to you right away, I will get back to you. Um, you can always just comment on anything. I will tell you one little tidbit that I forgot to mention, and this is one that really was like a knife in the gut. What really got me looking at Ernie and seeing him for the person he was is because if you go back on one of my videos, an interview with Lisa Key, which is Aaron Key's mother, he was a victim of a crime. Ernie commented under that video. Now, this is an interview done with a mother who is grieving the loss of her child. And his comment was, "This is boring as hell." That's what he had to say about a video about a victim. That shows the kind of person he is. So, part two will probably be Friday. We're going to go over the entire van incident and the theories surrounding it. And hopefully, we'll have some answers as to what happens in court tomorrow. Once again, if you want to donate, donate. If you don't. $ Chasing Justice. Every dollar helps. But if you don't have it to give, please don't give. And as usual, and I would much rather you donate money to a good cause. There's many different organizations out there that could always use funding. But I do appreciate anyone and everyone who does donate. And I will see all of you again Friday. Be safe out here on these YouTube streets and in the ones in your community. Hug your loved ones tight. You never guaranteed tomorrow. And tonight, instead of jumping on the hate trains and all of that stuff, how about you focus on doing one kind thing for someone tonight? Give someone a compliment. You never know how far one smile could go in someone's life. I appreciate all of you, and I will be talking to all of you very soon.